As a realtor, I spend a lot of time in the suburbs of Boston, and today we're going to talk about Sharon, Massachusetts, a beautiful littler town south of the city. The last time I made a video about Sharon was 2023, so we thought it was time for an update. Now, this is a town I know well. My husband grew up there, and my grandparents lived there, so I grew up swimming in that lake. And in this video, we're going to share the most important things to know about living in Sharon, Massachusetts.
And at the end of the video, we're going to show you some real estate sales. We'll show you what the midpoint looks like, and then we'll show you the higher end home that's sold there.
And it is more affordable than some of the Metro West communities we've talked about in other videos. I'm Jane. I'm a realtor based in Wellesley, Massachusetts.
And I'm Dee Dee, also based in Wellesley, and I'm on Jane's team.
And each week we put out a different video about a different community to help you make informed decisions about moving to Greater Boston. So please subscribe and like this video. We talked a little bit about the location. So Sharon is south of Boston, and it's about midway between Providence, Rhode Island and Boston. So it's actually still a commutable town because it has a really good commuter rail service. So my father-in-law used to take the commuter rail to Boston when he worked as a banker back in the day, but it's also great for people who might have to get to Providence or be out on 495 or 95 in that area.
Yeah, it has a lot of options.
And one of the things to know about Providence is it's actually a fantastic city. It's great to visit. They have all kinds of Italian restaurants. They have this cute little Italian section. They have a beautiful river meanders through the downtown. They have these events where they do like bonfires on the river. And every summer I say, this summer I'm going, but I have to go this summer.
I actually am married to someone from Rhode Island, so I spent a good bit of time in Providence, and it is really, really great. Up on the hill, the food is fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's as good as the North End in Boston for sure.
Absolutely. There's a major airport there. Years ago in a different job, I had a colleague who lived in Foxborough, which is right next to Sharon. She used to prefer to fly out of TF Green Airport because it's a lot easier than dealing with downtown Boston. Mm-hmm. And Fidelity has a very large office in Providence. So again, we've seen some people do the reverse commute, and maybe one spouse works in Boston, one's in Providence, and you can take the commuter rail that way as well. So let's talk about Lake Massapoque. As I mentioned, I grew up swimming there. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's one of the beautiful areas. There's also an Audubon place called Moose Hills Sanctuary. So again, lots of walking trails, places to cross-country ski, really great for an outdoor lifestyle.
And in fact, one of the houses that we're going to highlight at the end is actually right next to the lake, because there's lots of neighborhoods and communities near the lake that you can move to.
One of the reasons people choose Sharon is because of their superior public school system. So niche.com gives them an A+ rating, and they are a perennial top 20 on the Boston Magazine list. So every level of school is exceptional. So Dee Dee, let's talk about real estate.
All right.
So it's a smaller town, about 18,000 people. In 2024, 127 homes were sold. So let's take a look: an entry-level home, a mid-priced home, and the most expensive home that sold last year.
And Jane, can I ask a question? So you said it's about 18,000 people, and there were 127 sales there. How does that compare to like a Framingham, for example?
So Framingham is a city of 80,000. So we covered that in another video recently. That had over 400 sales.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit, obviously just from size, the inventory and stuff like that. Okay.
However, because we're real nerds about real estate, in Wellesley and Needham, you'll see 300 plus sales in a year. We have populations of around 27,000. So it's interesting that some have a more active real estate market than others. So Sharon's is actually pretty significant for a town of its size, I would say.
That's good to know.
Okay, so let's dive into the real estate. So let's take a look at a couple listings that sold in 2024 in Sharon, Massachusetts. So the first house we're going to look at is 27 Laurel Road, which was on the market for $499,900 and sold for $520,000. And this was interesting for a couple of reasons. It was a ranch, which is appealing to people at all different stages of life. And it was in move-in condition, though some could argue it could use a little update. What I thought was interesting was that you look at the list and sale date. It was actually listed September of 2023, and it went under agreement right away. And it didn't close until January of 2024. And in the notes, it actually says that it was subject to the seller finding suitable housing. So sometimes in a super tight market, There's a domino effect. If people don't know where they're going to go, they don't want to list their house, and they can't list their house if they don't know where they're going to go. Sometimes the best offer is not only just the best price, but has the best terms. If the seller is basically saying, if you can wait till January or wait till we find a house to move to, then the house is yours. And a lot of times I notice what happens is once that happens, the seller goes shopping and is usually able to find something pretty quickly. And the attorneys will make sure that there's language in there to protect you so that the seller has to have a closing date. So at some point, the seller's going to have to leave so you can move in. But I did just want to show you this cute little house. It's on a half acre and has a garage. It has a nice lot with an above ground pool. Kitchen's nicely updated. Now, these cabinets might look a little pink, but I promise you they're not pink. They're kind of a natural wood tone. Stainless appliances. Definitely move-in condition. Let's see, there's a living room, a fireplace, a nice vanity, lots of colors going on in here, a couple extra kids' bedrooms, this kind of breezeway out to the backyard, nice and private back there, and there was also a finished basement. So that sold for $520 in January of 2024. For a mid-price home in Sharon, I chose 23 Chessman Drive, which was on the market for $1,050,000, and it closed at $1,105. So it's on almost an acre of land, and it's in a very popular area, and it's an expanded colonial. So 4 beds, 2.5 baths, it has central air, has a lot of updates. So all of those reasons make it like the classic move-in house. This also listed in the fourth quarter in November, closed the end of January. So again, like a 60-day close is very typical here in Massachusetts. Kind of a nice colonial center entrance, nice big lot, 2-car garage under, nice clean and bright. These are nice pictures showcasing it well. That's a wood-burning fireplace. A lot of Sharon is on septic because there's not a lot of town sewer, and some well, but mostly town water. Nice kitchen. It's 2 in a row we've seen with wood cabinets. They're coming back. Nice laundry room, giant primary suite, and a beautiful primary bath. Down the lower level, there is, vinyl plank flooring, and it's nice and light and bright. Good place for a workout room and a hangout space. And yes, definitely the place to put your teenage drummer. This is a screen porch, which is just terrific. Can enjoy many an evening out there enjoying the fresh air, and a step down to the backyard. So that was 23 Chessman Drive, which sold for $1,105. For a higher end home, we were lucky to find a new development on Preserve Way. There was 5 new homes near the Audubon area, new construction on 1.3 acres, so almost an acre and a half. And it was on for $2,489, and it closed for $2,400. And it's 6,500 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 5 full baths, 2 half baths. And it does have some photos from another property that we can take a look at. This house is heated by propane, which is interesting. You're seeing that a lot now. Oil is gone by the wayside. A lot of new construction, we're actually seeing 100% electric, but sometimes builders are opting to do propane. I think we're going to see less of that going forward because they're trying to convert, all the towns are pushing us to single fuel homes. Basically, that means electric and heat pumps. So this came on the market in July, went under agreement right away. So there was definitely demand for new construction. And it just a gorgeous center entrance colonial. Beautiful large lot. That's going to be a patio where you see all the gravel. It's on a big private cul-de-sac with all new homes. It's kind of fun sometimes to move in when everyone's brand new. So kind of builds community. So here's a nice view of the front door, nice side lights, and I love this window above the door just to bring in lots of natural light. Now this is again a trend we're seeing. This is quite transitional. Instead of spindles, we're seeing wrought iron spindles with some painted trim and some natural trim, which is a nice look. Not too contemporary, but not too traditional. This is a gorgeous family room with these big sliders going out to the backyard. So your kitchen has tons of natural light and a little nook for dining. A beautiful white kitchen. We're trending away from all white kitchens, so that'll be something to keep an eye out for in 2025. Beautiful primary bath, nice laundry room, comes with washer dryer. That's nice. The lower level is carpeted, lots of space to do just about anything. Family bath. I have to say, I'm a little surprised by these vanity light fixtures. I think they could have done better, but I'm very judgy. Another bath with a shower, and they're showing you the development, and then you get to see the plants.
So if you're thinking of moving to Sharon, Massachusetts, please give us a call. Just reach out to us. We love helping people relocate to there, and it would be our honor to help you out.
And if you have any questions or thoughts, please leave them in the comments. And please remember to subscribe, as each week we're putting out a new video.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching.